Okay, this is mock set 2, paper 3. Okay, so first question says, a fair ordinary dice is thrown. That is important. We need to know that it's fair. That means that it has an equal chance of landing on each of the numbers on the dice. On the probability scale below, mark with a cross the probability that the dice will land on an even number. So the numbers on a dice are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Okay, it being even would be a 2, a 4, a 6. Okay, so the chances of it landing on an even number, there are 3 chances out of 6 possible chances of it landing on an even number. Okay, as an equivalent fraction, if I don't know what that is, I can put that into my calculator because it is a calculator paper. 3, 6. Okay, and that is the same as 1/2. So I can mark that on my number line. Okay, the second one, on the probability scale, mark with a cross the probability that the dice will land on a 5. So land on a 5. Again, the options are either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There is only one possible option of it landing on a 5. 1 out of the 6 options. Okay, so that's 1/6. So between 0 and 1, okay, I'm going to split that into 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1/6 would be about here. Okay, so that is 1 mark for the half and 1 mark for the 1/6. Okay, then question 2. Write a number on the dotted line to make the statement correct. So here it starts 2.75 litres equals something millilitres. Well, I know that 1 litre equals 1,000 millilitres. Okay, from 1 to 2.75, they have multiplied that by 2.75. So I can do the same. Okay, to get from 1,000 millilitres, I'm going to times by 2.75. Okay, some of you might know that anyway, if you're not sure. 1,000 times by 2.75 is 2,750. Okay, and that is just 1 mark for that one, so you have to have your 2,750. Okay, question 3. It says here are 4 circles. Okay, so I have 4 circles and 4 straight lines. Each circle has its centre marked with a cross. Draw an arrow from each straight line to its mathematical name. Okay, first one. The straight line is going from the edge of the circle to the other edge of the circle through the centre. That makes that the diameter. Okay. The next one is going from the centre to the edge of the circle. That makes that the radius. Okay. This line is going from the edge of the circle to the edge of the circle, but not going through the centre. Okay, that makes that a chord. And then lastly, the tangent hits the edge of the circle, not inside. So that makes that a tangent. Okay, so if you have all 4 of those correct, that is 2 marks for all 4 of those correct. If you have either 2 or 3 of those, you get 1 mark. Okay, but if you have none of them, it's no marks. Question 4 then. Here are 5 digits. Use each digit once to complete this calculation, so I cannot repeat them. So a 2-digit number times by 2 gives me a 3-digit number. Okay, so my 2-digit number is going to end up as a 3-digit number, which means if I have a 0 in my tens and I times it by 2, it's probably not going to be a 3-digit number. A 1 in my tens and I times it by 2, it probably won't be a 3-digit number. A 3 in my tens and I times it by 2, it probably won't be a 3-digit number. So in my tens, I'm probably going to have either a 5 or a 6. Okay, if I have a 6 in my tens and I times it by 2, that would give me 120 something. The logical number here to go in my tens, in my ones, is a 5. 65 times by 2 would then leave me with 130, okay, which is the other numbers that I've got left. 53, okay, 53 would leave me with 106. 3 times by 2, 106, which is the numbers I've got left. So you can either have 53 times by 2 is 106, or 65 times by 2 is 130. Okay. So you've got 1 mark if you've used one of these here, one of those numbers, that's 1 mark. Okay, if you've got a pair of correct numbers, then that's 2 marks. Okay. Question 5a. Solve 2 brackets x plus 1 close brackets equals 8. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to expand my brackets using our grid. 2 times x is 2x. 2 times positive 1 is a positive 2. So that gives me 2x plus 2 equals 8. Okay. Now I want to solve it, so I want it to be x equals something. Okay. So I'm going to take away 2 on this side of my equation. To cancel that out, that gives me 2x. I need to do the same on this side. That gives me 6. I don't want 2 lots of x, I want 1 lot of x. I'm going to divide by 2. Okay, divide by 2 there. That gives me x equals 3. Okay, so that is 2 marks for that one. So you get 1 mark if you have expanded these brackets. Okay, or if you have divided both sides by 2 to get rid of those brackets. And then you get your second mark for the correct answer. Second one. Solve 3y plus 7 equals 19. Okay, so I don't want 3y plus 7, I want y equals something, so I'm going to get rid of that 7 by taking away 7. Do that on this side too, so that cancels out. I get 3y equals 12. I don't want 3 lots of y, I just want y, so I'm going to divide that by 3. Do the same on this side. I get y equals 4. Okay. So if you have either subtracted 7 or divided by 3 in some sort of way, you get 1 mark, and then you get 2 marks then for the correct answer as well. Okay, factorise 6n minus 4. So I'm looking at common factors of 6n and 4. I can see that they are both divisible by 2. So I'm going to have 2 outside my brackets. If I divide 6n by 2, I'm left with 3n. And then we've got some negative 4. If I divide 4 by 2, I get 2. Okay, so my answer here should be 2 brackets 3n minus 2. And that is just 1 mark for that correct answer. And then to simplify, okay, I've got 3 lots of CD, okay, plus 2 lots of CD, that's going to give me 5 CD, and then I'm taking away 1 lot of CD, so that's going to give me 4 lots of CD. Okay, so that is just 1 mark for that one for the correct answer. Okay, question number 6. The bar chart shows some information. About the number of letters in each word in a paragraph. Okay, so along here is my number of words in the paragraph, and then this is the number of letters in those words in the paragraph. First part says, what is the modal number of letters in each word? modal meaning the most common. Okay, and I'm looking for the most common number of letters in the word. So I'm looking at my number of letters. Which one occurs the most? That would be this one here. So that would be 3. That's just 1 mark for that one. Okay, part B says work out the range for the number of letters in a word. Again, I'm looking at my number of letters, okay, and I'm thinking the number of letters in words ranges from 1 to 10, okay, so 1 being the lowest and 10 being the highest. To find my range, I'm going to do my highest, subtract the lowest. Okay, so I'm going to do 10, take away 1, which gives me 9. So my range is 9. Now, if you have got somewhere on your page 1 and 10 being significant numbers, something important to write down, that is 1 mark, and then you get your second mark for the correct answer of 9. Okay, part C. Work out the fraction of words that have at least 6 letters. Okay, so importantly, at least 6 letters means it could be 6 or more letters. Okay, so I'm looking at how many words have 6 or more letters, and because it's a fraction, that's going to be out of the total. So how many words have 6 or more letters out of the total? So if I come back up here, I'm looking at 6 letters. If I go across, okay, my scale is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so it goes up in ones. 6 letters has 1, 2, 3 words, okay? 3 words have 6 letters. Okay, if I look at 7 letters, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 words have 7 letters. I'm just making a note of that down here. Okay, 8 letters then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so 5 words have 8 letters. 9 letters, 1, 2. And 10 letters, only 1 word has 10 letters. Okay, so what we're saying is we can use a calculator. There are 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 2 plus 1. There are 15 words which have 6 or more letters in them. Now I need to work out the total, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing but with all of them now. Okay, so 1 letter is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1 letter is in 5 words. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, 8 words have 2 letters. 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12 words have 3 letters. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so I know that 15 words have 6 or more letters, And now I need to work out the total amount of words there are in the paragraph. So I'm going to add them all up. I know that this total is 15. So I'm going to add 5 plus 8 plus 12 plus 10 plus 9. So in total, there are 59 words, and 15 out of those 59 have at least 6 letters. So my answer is 15 out of 59. Okay, so you've got 1 mark if you have worked out this here, so finding the number of words that have 6 or more letters. You have your second mark comes from finding the total, okay, and then your third mark is for the correct answer. So 3 marks on that one. Question 7. Gary draws a triangle. 2 of the angles in my triangle are obtuse. Okay, so obtuse means greater than 90 degrees but less than 180 degrees. Okay, so we know what obtuse means. In a triangle, so the angles in a triangle sum to 180. Okay, it says Carrie cannot be correct when she says 2 of the angles in the triangle are obtuse. That is because angles in a triangle sum to 180, and obtuse means greater than 90 degrees but less than 180. Okay, so she couldn't have 2 obtuse angles because it would exceed 180 degrees. Okay, that is a 2-mark question. So you have 1 mark if you've written something about obtuse angles being greater than 90, less than 180. And your second mark is for noting that angles in a triangle sum to 180. So that's your 2 marks there. Okay. Question 8. T is an integer such that 7 is less than t, but 15 is greater than t. Write down the greatest number it can be. Okay, so it must be larger than 7, and less than 15. Okay, so it must be larger than 7 and less than 15. So the greatest integer it could be is 14. That is just 1 mark for getting 14. Okay, f and g are both integers. Okay, so both whole numbers. F and g are both integers. Whole numbers. Okay, f plus g is equal to 500, and f is 160 greater than g. Calculate the value of f and the value of g. Okay, so I know, if I look at my bar model, f and g add together to make 500. And I know that f is 160 greater. So this part of f, because it's 160 greater than g, that part of f must be 160. That makes these 2 parts of my bar model equal. Okay, I want to work out what they are. If I do 500, take away that 160, I'll do that on my calculator because it's a calculator question. 500, take 160, okay, that gives me 340. Okay, that means that those 2 parts are worth 340. So to find what one part that is worth, I can divide by 2. Okay, 340 divided by 2 is 170. So that means this part is 170 and this part is 170. That tells me that G is 170. Okay, and it tells me that F is 170 plus 160. Okay, again, I can do that on my calculator. 170 plus 160 is 330. Okay, so that's 3 marks there. 1 mark if you have 500 take away 160, okay, or something to do with two numbers that add up to 500, so maybe on your bar model. And then your second mark is to find one of the values, okay, so then dividing by 2. And then your third mark comes from your correct answers. Okay, both of those need to be correct for that third mark. Okay, question 8. Question 8. 288 chocolates are put into 3 boxes. The chocolates are put into a small box, a medium box and a large box in the ratio 1 to 3 to 8. Work out the number of chocolates in each box. Okay, so I've got a small box, a medium box and a large box, and that is the ratio 1 to 3 to 8. Okay, so if I do this as a bar model, my small box is 1 part, my medium box is 1, 2, 3 parts, and my large box is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 parts. Okay, so in total I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 parts. Okay, and I have 288 chocolates to split between those 12 parts evenly. So 288 divided by 12, again I can do that on my calculator. 288 divided by 12 is 24. So each part is worth 24 chocolates. Okay, so my small box, 1 part, 24 chocolates, lovely. My medium box has 3 lots of 24. If you don't know what that is, again, use your calculator. 24 plus 24 plus 24, 72. Okay, my large box has 24 plus 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 24. So that's 8 lots of 24. 8 times 24 is 192. Okay, so small box is 24 chocolates, medium 72, and large 192. So there's 1 mark there, okay, for doing the division. Okay, dividing it by total amount parts. Another mark for working out then your medium and your large parts. And then your answer mark gives you those 3 marks. So if you've got all 3 of those right, that is your third mark. Okay, question number 10. Ravi buys some hats to sell at a school fete. He buys 40 hats for a total of £120. Ravi sells 3/4 of these hats at £4.50 each. He reduces the selling price of the remaining hats to £4 each. He sells half of the remaining hats at this selling price. Okay, work out the profit that Ravi makes. Okay, so the first thing is if he buys 40 hats for a total of £120, okay, so he has spent £120. Ravi sells 3/4 of these hats. 3/4 of 40. Okay, now I can do 40 divided by 4, which is 10, times by 3. I can use my calculator because it's a calculator question. Fraction button, 3/4 times by 40 is 30. Okay. So he has sold 30 hats at £4.50 each. 30 times by £4.50. Okay, again, get my calculator. 30 times by £4.50 is £135. Don't forget that's in pounds. Okay, so he has sold 3/4 of the hats for £135. He reduces the selling price of the remaining hats. So if he sold 30 of them, he has 10 remaining, to £4 each. He sells half of those remaining hats. Half of 10 is 5. So he sells 5 hats for £4 each. 5 times £4, if we're not sure what that is, 5 times 4, £20. Okay, so far he has made 135 plus 20, he has made £155, okay, but it is asking for profit. That means I need to take off the cost. I'm going to do £155, take away the cost, 120, £35. So don't forget to write that at the bottom, £35, and that is 5 marks. So 1 mark, okay, for your process of 40 divided by 4 times by 3, so finding 3/4, okay, that is 1 mark for finding your 3/4. Another mark for working out there are 10 remaining, half of that is 5, okay, and then another one for working out that what he has made, so his income is £155, okay, and then for them working out your profit here, and your final answer gives you 5 marks. Okay, so that's 4 marks in the method, and then your final answer at the bottom is your 5th mark. Okay, question 11. Okay, here are the speeds in kilometres per hour of 15 cyclists. Okay, you might need to know that. Show this information in a stem and leaf diagram. Okay, so stem and leaf looks something like this. Okay, our values all have a tens, and our lowest value, if we look, is 16. My highest value is 41. Okay, so my stem is going to go 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, the 16 is written 1, then the line 6. Okay, then I've got 18, then I've got 19. Okay, then I've got no others with 1 in the tens, so I'm looking at the 20s. I've got 22 and another 22. The next one, 23, and another one, 23, and 24, and then 25, and then 28. That's all the numbers in the 20s. In the 30s, I've got 33 and 34, and 31. So I've got 31, 31, 33, 33, and 34, 34. And then in my 40s, 40, which is 40, and 41, 41. Importantly, we need to write my key, being that 1, 6 is 16. Okay, you could have 2, line 2 is 22, 3, line 1, 31, whatever your key is. Okay, so 2 marks if you have your diagram fully correct, and 1 mark for your key. There's your 3 marks. Okay, if you have nearly the whole thing but 1 error, then you've got 1 mark for your diagram and 1 mark for your key. Otherwise it's 2 marks for the whole thing correct. Okay, question 12. This accurate scale drawing shows 2 ports, A and B. The scale is 1 centimetre, represents 10 miles. A boat takes 5 hours to sail from A to B. Calculate the boat's average speed. Average speed. Okay, you must show all your working. Okay, so it says it is an accurate scale drawing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure from A to B. From A to B, I've got 7.1. On my ruler, 7.1. So it is 7.1 centimetres from A to B. Okay. So 1 mark if you've got a measurement. Between 7.1 to 7.7. So if you've got a measurement in between there, you have 1 mark. Okay. Then, to know what that is in miles, okay, 1 centimetre represents 10 miles. So 7.1 centimetres times by 10 is 71 miles. Okay. So 1 mark here, 1 mark for doing that. Okay, and then we want to work out their average speed. So then to work out the average speed, okay, my speed is my distance over time. So my distance is 71 over, it says 5 hours. 71 divided by 5, 14.2. Okay, you might have something different, so somewhere around 14.2. Okay, depending on what your measurement was here. And that final one would be your 3 marks. Okay, question 13. Oliver wants to buy some stickers. He only has a £10 note. Each packet of stickers, each packet costs £1.29. Oliver buys as many packets of stickers as possible. Work out how much change he should get from a £10 note. Okay, So £10 notes. £10. We want to divide that by my £1.29. Okay, if I don't want the decimals like that, what I can do is say that a £10 note is 10,000 pennies divided by 129 pennies. Okay, essentially we can do that on a calculator because I have a calculator. £10 divided by £1.29. £1.29 is 1.29. Okay, is 7.7 recurring. Okay, that means he can get definitely get 7 packets. Okay. So he can get 7 packets. Okay. Then if he can buy 7 packets, 7 times the £1.29 on my calculator, 7 times £1.29 means he would spend £9 and 3p. It says work out how much change you should get from that £10 note. So I'm going to do the £10 note, take away what he spent, the £9 3p. Okay, it's going to end up with 97p. Okay, we've got pounds here, so I can keep that as 0.97. Okay, that is 0.97 pounds. Okay, so 1 for doing this division, something up here, 1 mark for one of those divisions, 2 marks, second mark for working out how much it will cost, and then third mark when we've taken away for our answer. Okay, third mark for our answer. Then it says Jess also wants to buy some stickers. There are 6 stickers in each pack. Jess works out that she can buy exactly 28 stickers. Is she correct? If there are 6 stickers, okay, in each pack, 1 pack will be 6 stickers, 2 packs, okay, will be 12, 3 packs will be 18 stickers, 4 packs will be 24 stickers, 5 packs will be 30 stickers, okay? So we need to write no, she's not correct, because 28 isn't a multiple of 6. If they go up in 6 stickers, 28 is not a multiple of 6. Okay, 1 mark. 28 is not a multiple of 6. Okay, and we've worked that out there. Ali invests £400 for 5 years in a savings account. The account pays simple interest at a rate of 3.5% per year. Work out the total amount of interest Ali gets. Okay, the total amount of interest Ali gets. Okay, so because it says it's simple interest, we are going to work out how much interest she gets for 1 year and then just multiply it by 5. Okay, so she'll get the same amount of interest each year. So 3.5% of her initial £400. Okay, remember to do that, I can turn that into a decimal. Okay, 0.035 multiplied by the 400. I've got a calculator. 0.035 times by 400 gives me 14. So she's earning £14 in interest per year. Because it's simple interest, it's the same amount each year, 5 years, so 14 times by 5. Take my calculator, I've still got my answer in there, so just times by 5 equals 70. Okay, so the total amount of interest she gets is 70. So we've got 1 mark for finding the 3.5% of 400, and then second mark for then multiplying that by 5, and then the third one for my answer at the bottom. Okay. Okay. Question 15. Norma makes bags. She makes 17 bags an hour. Norma works for 6 hours each day, 5 days a week. Okay. Each bag is checked. If the bag is perfect, it is put into a box. When there are 12 bags in a box, it is full. 1 week, 90% of the bags were perfect. Work out the number of boxes completely filled with bags made by Norma. So we're looking at number of boxes completely filled. So let's go back up to the top. Norma makes bags. She makes 17 bags an hour. If she works 6 hours in a day, okay, 6 hours, and she makes 17 bags each hour, so times by 17, 6 times 17, 102. So she's made 102 bags in 1 day. It says she works 5 days a week. So 102 bags per day times by 5 days. Okay, it's going to be 510. 510 bags per week. Okay, each bag is checked. If the bag is perfect, it's put into a box. When there are 12 bags in a box, it is full. 1 week, 90% of the bags she made were perfect. So if she makes 510 per week, what is 90% of that? Okay, so 90% of 510. I'm going to use my decimal multiplier, 0.9 times by 510 on my calculator. 0.9 times 510 equals 459. So she's made 459 perfect bags. Okay, there are 12 bags in a box. Okay, 12 perfect bags in a box. So I'm going to do 459 divided by 12. 459 divided by 12. Okay, and that's 38.25. So that means she's got 38.25 boxes of bags. How many of those are completely filled? That would be 38 boxes completely filled. Okay, so for this question, 1 mark, okay, for working out that, okay, 90% of the 510 is 450, okay. So 1 for writing that, 1 for actually getting the correct answer there, 459. 1 mark for then dividing that by 12, okay. 1 mark for the correct answer, and then final mark for your answer of 38. Okay, so you have to have rounded that to get your final marks. 38 because it's asking for how many completely filled. Well, 38.25, that's got a quarter left. Okay, so it was 38 or completely filled. Okay, and that is the last question.